So Chiney, Ogwumike, and Monica McNutt lie again on First Take. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video. And join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover every Monday and Thursday, 6 to 7 and 5:30 to 6:30, respectively, Eastern Time, except for major holidays like Memorial Day. And also join us for the live game Thursday night, the rematch against the Atlanta Dream, and also Saturday against the Liberty. It's in the afternoon.
There we go.
There we go. So we're ready for that game too. So they need a win on Thursday. So Rob, this is from First Take.
Were Clark or Reese in the wrong there?
Why is she assuming anyone's in the wrong?
Yeah, who
This is my first question.
Yeah, what do you mean who's wrong?
That's a loaded question.
Neither were in the wrong because this was a heat of the moment situation. And I want to take a second to laugh at Aaliyah Boston, who was like, how did I get caught up in the sauce? Get a technical for playing peacemaker in this. But still, I want us to look at.
I'm gonna agree with that, Rob. That's 100% right. I'm glad she pointed that out.
Right.
She should not got a technical on that. And I do believe that regardless of whether Caitlin gave Angel Reese a little push, Angel Reese way overreacted. To say she did nothing wrong is crazy. It's crazy to me because think about the number of times that Caitlin Clark got hit that hard and much harder on much dirtier plays, and she never went after the other player that I can remember, or at least 99% of the time she didn't.
No.
So that's not a normal reaction. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
No, I'm saying, yeah, I'm disagreeing with you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, she never reacts like Angel Reese, Miss Drama.
Right, so that's part of this, but let's go on.
At the play because it's very important. This happens in basketball all the time. So Angel Reese pushes Natasha Howard in the back, which angers Caitlin, and Caitlin gives a no free buckets foul with some extra.
Now, notice right here that Aaliyah Boston actually had a hold back.
This happens in basketball all the time. So Angel Reese pushes Natasha Howard in the back, which angers Caitlin, and Caitlin gives.
I'll play this in slow motion so you can get an idea on what I'm talking about here. It looks like she was ready to make a swing. That's not normal reaction, Rob.
No, she did take a swing at her.
Well, kind of. Let's see.
No, she took a swing at her.
No, we'll see. Okay, we'll split play, and you can decide for yourself whether it's a swing or not.
A no free buckets foul.
I mean, it could be she was going to push her in the back or something.
No, she extended her arm out like she was going to hit her.
I know. I agree with you. It looked like she might be wanting to punch her, but it's not clear to me. She might just push her in the back. So who's not sure? I'm not sure. But yeah,
well, she would have pushed her in the back. Only if Caitlin Clark hadn't walked away, she would have hit her in the face.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is Aaliyah Boston. Look at, she's just being peacemaker, and the ref can see that. But it was the other ref that decided to give her a technical. It was a male ref. So this ref should have told her. I'm sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Sorry. The one that missed the push in the back.
Well, two of them missed the push in the back, Rob, but she should have gone over to the other ref and gave her opinion on who should get a technical instead. Aaliyah was just trying to break it up. Because apparently that information didn't get through to the male ref, who was the head ref, because he gave Aaliyah Boston a technical. But we'll go on.
With some extra sauce on it, which correctly gets assessed as a technical to that, which any player that gets hit like that. I used to do this all the time. I turn around, I once got messed up with because it was Brittany Griner. Be careful. You got to be careful. But you have these heat of the moment emotional reactions on both sides that understood, all right, this is a basketball play, which, by the way.
So if it's a basketball play, why is it okay for her to overreact and come at Caitlin Clark?
Because she's a drama queen.
Because she's lying.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
This happened not just in this game, multiple games. The NBA is what a lot of people celebrate the NBA for embracing right now. It's a physical league. Now, this had gas.
They're so proud of the fact that it's a physical league. It's annoying.
Physical league. Yeah,
proud of that.
That's great. Yeah, I like to hit the bodies and smash into each other because people enjoy watching that. No.
Right. I may take that part out because those other plays are irrelevant to this, and that may make it shorter, but okay.
Gasoline because it had two megastar players
Angel Reese is not a megastar. She's a star. Caitlin Clark is a megastar. Let's get it straight.
Yeah.
There's one megastar in that league, and there's other stars. That's
You're
it.
right.
Household names. But my number one theory is if the players are unbothered, we should be too.
You agree with that, Rob?
Well, obviously, Reese is not unbothered. She was
Right.
very bothered. She was quite bothered.
So she's lying about that too.
Yeah, she was quite bothered. Like you said, if it was a regular basketball play, then like you just said, you turn around, you look at each other, and then like you said, you go on.
You don't think
Reese
it's
took it to another level?
you don't think her accusations about the racial stuff is related to the fact that she's bothered about this? And also she missed a free throw, but that's she's only a 75% free throw shooter. Why should she think that's what affected her free throw? All right, but go ahead. All right.
Nailed it. I continue to say that this is competition. And obviously, if we were in this setting and I no buckets allowed foul somebody, it would be a problem because we are outside of the parameters of basketball. And so this is an emotional experience. It is a high-level experience. These women are competitive. I think the refs adjudicated it correctly. I do think I'm with Chiney. I do think there was a little extra sauce on this one in terms of having your teammates back. But to me, again, this falls under the guise of competition, and y'all got to let these women compete.
I do think there was a little extra sauce on that, Rob. I think there was a slight push, but that doesn't mean necessarily it's a flagrant one. And especially to do it against Caitlin Clark, like I said, as opposed to someone who always got abused last year, never got the calls, and now you suddenly give her for a borderline one. Like I said, if it was against Alyssa Thomas, I wouldn't have a problem with it because she's the dirtiest player in the league, and you got to set it. You got to prevent her from doing that in the future. But let's see what Stephen A. Smith has to say.
Oh God.
No, this is good for him.
I say.
Y'all finish?
Sure are.
Yes, sir.
Help me out, ladies. I would appreciate the education from the both of you. Does Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have any love or like for one another at all?
Respect.
Yeah, they have respect.
I don't know.
That's not the question.
That ain't
That's
what
not
I
the question.
asked. I know what the difference. I think I know the difference. You understand? Just like when you was at Upfronts, Eminem, telling folks, I know how to read. You understand? Say, I know you understand.
Keep that in the house.
No. It's
Fair
cool.
enough,
It's cool.
dirty
It's all in
laundry.
fun. It's all in fun. It's all in love. But what I'm saying is that you know the difference. I did not say respect. I said love or like. They have it?
I think we saw a glimpse of it last year at the WNBA All-Star game. Wow, amazing. They got it.
No.
I'm going to disagree with her on that, Rob.
Yeah.
I don't think that showed anything to do with the fact that Caitlin Clark liked Angel Reese or Angel Reese liked Caitlin Clark. That Caitlin Clark put her feelings aside, and so did Angel Reese did, in order to win that game. Caitlin Clark got the rebound and said, go, go, go. And Angel Reese ran down the court, and she threw her a great pass. Why? Because they wanted to win the game. And that's all that happened in that particular game. It didn't mean they liked each other.
No.
We'll go on.
All it was like Caitlin Clark wanted to make a nice pass to her, and the person was open.
She wanted to win the game too because she knew Angel Reese. If she could run the court and give her a nice pass, it
could have been anybody else besides Angel Reese, Mark, and she would.
Right, I understand. Right, she just wanted to win the game.
Yeah.
This was one of the most fun moments that we were able to witness in women's basketball.
Janae, respectfully, I asked you a yes or no question. I mean, I just asked. I didn't ask for all of that. I'm asking you because I know you know. Yes, so, I know you two know.
Well, they don't know, Rob, but okay, let's see what their answer is.
I'm asking a direct question.
I do know both of these ladies, and I have spoken to them, and it is hard to negotiate the spaces that they're in with the heat of the moment from college to pros.
You don't even know where I'm going. How come I can't get an answer?
Okay. I'm just saying you don't have to be friends with someone to be able to respect someone, but go ahead.
Right. I would never imply that they don't respect one another. I am asking you because I know you two know. You cover the sport exceptionally well. I'm asking a question. All I asked for was an answer. Are y'all going to answer me or not? Do they like each other or not?
I think they would say they like each other.
I would say
no problem. No.
Okay, so that's a lie, Rob.
That's a lie. They do not like each other.
That this is my feeling. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, is an extremely jealous and envious of her because Caitlin Clark is everything that Angel Reese thinks she should be, which is the most popular and the best woman basketball player in the world right now. At least for the first two games of the season, she's the best player. And she's always wanted all the attention and all the glory and all the praise towards her. And it bothers her that Caitlin Clark, who they grew up together in terms of playing AAU, and then they played in the national teams together, and in college, got all of the praise that she thinks she should get, and that she's white, and that bothers her. And that, I think the fact that she's white magnifies the fact that Caitlin Clark gets all this attention. Caitlin Clark just kind of like dislikes Angel for the taunting and for other things that she's done and said. Go ahead, Rob.
No, Angel Reese doesn't like her for that, like you said, Mark. Also, the pettiness of the way she is. She wants the attention. She's trying to be the number one player, and she's not the number one player. And so she's frustrated that Caitlin Clark, who is the better player than her, is getting more attention, and she can't deal with that. So no, they do not like each other. And Caitlin Clark, she's indifferent. She's not going to take her out. If she sees her, she'll say, "Hi, how you doing?" But after that, no, she's not gonna go up and hug her. I don't think so. That's like, she's not gonna, "Hey, Angel, what's up?" No, that's not gonna happen.
Now, Caitlin Clark said, "Obviously, we're not best friends." That says, "I don't like Angel, but I don't hate her." That's what it says.
Right.
Angel hates Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
That's what it's crystal clear. Rob, if she liked Caitlin Clark, when Caitlin Clark got body checked to the ground by Kennedy Carter, would she jump up and down?
Right.
On the sideline cheering that cheap shot on? No, of course not. So they're lying. They're lying here. She hates Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, just say it.
When she got the flagrant foul called against her, she said, "Oh, she gets a special whistle." You can just hear it in her voice, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, she does not like her. I mean, look at the actions after that foul. She wanted to keep on going. The coaches were holding her back.
Yeah, just
she really wanted a piece of her. She wanted a piece of Caitlin Clark. Clark was already gone to her bench. She wanted to go down there and take her on and kick her butt.
Just because of a little sauce. When Alyssa Thomas took her by the neck and threw her down, she hit her head. She thanked her for it. So you can tell that she hates Caitlin Clark and is extremely jealous and envious of her. So why lie about it?
Yeah.
And that's why she overreacted.
Right. This is one of the few things. I mean, this is the only few things when he asked the question, I was going, that's the question I would have asked. And they didn't answer it. Still didn't answer it. Right. They kind of no, they didn't answer it. I don't know why they were afraid to.
And you can tell other things like they interviewed Angel Reese at the end of her junior year, and Caitlin Clark got Player of the Year, and Aaliyah Boston was second. And the year before, Aaliyah Boston was first, and Caitlin Clark was second. And they were first team All-Pro the year before, and she wasn't. She was first year junior. And they asked her who was the best player in the country. She said the media or me. So you can just tell that she thinks she's great. She thinks she's the one, and she doesn't like the fact that everyone else thinks it's Caitlin Clark. So that's why she hates her. And you don't taunt someone after the end of a game, Rob, when you're winning a championship and they just lost their dream. If you really like a person, you don't do that.
No,
sorry, you don't.
Like I said, because if that was me, Caitlin Clark, she would be on the ground. She would have been on the ground.
Anyways, we'll go on because Stephen A. Smith screws up after this. Even though he's doing really well here, he screwed up after that.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. We're going to go with that.
Again, no problem. We're going to go with that. He should have said what I just said, Rob. All the evidence that shows that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
So he screws up there. But okay, you can't expect more than one or two good things out of Stephen A. Smith per show.
This was a basketball play.
Uh-huh.
You understand? It was the heat of the moment. I got it. The fact that the Sky was getting romped by 35 certainly didn't help matters. I get all of that too, okay? But the reality of the situation is clear. I think it was a basketball play. I don't think it's much ado about anything. I think both of you are 100% correct in terms of not only attributing it to competition, but loving the fact that they're being allowed to compete. We should not judge women competing against one another differently than we would judge the men. I got y'all back on that. You ain't got to worry about that. Ain't no let nobody gonna do that.
Can I ask a question? Or you have more to say, Stephen?
Is that it?
This is trending yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know from the two of you, is this trending news because it's women being physical?
No, it's because of them.
Let me just call it what it is, a black and a white player.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's because
I don't think it's a black or a white player, but I think Angel Reese doesn't like the fact that Caitlin Clark is white and is a superstar. So it
It's-
is
it's
it
part-
is
I
in her
mean-
mind, but not in Caitlin Clark's mind. Caitlin Clark doesn't care what skin color people are.
I mean, it's a black and white thing in Angel Reese's mind, but I don't think it's Clark has no like. What are you talking about? It's basketball.
Clark gets along with everyone. She doesn't
Yeah.
care. All right, we'll go on. So that's crazy.
People project what they want on each of them, and those are subjective ideas that they're projecting. If you're going and have this narrative that has been falsely built that people want to do certain things to Caitlin or do certain things to Angel,
That's not there's no false narrative, Rob. People,
No.
the whole league wanted to do something to Caitlin last year, and I can show you 30 million different highlights showing that. But okay, another lie. They still pretending there was no hate against Caitlin Clark last year. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
you're going to take that moment and validate your opinion, even though it's false. So, like, to me,
So it's confirmation bias.
Yeah, it's confirmation. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's you lying.
Let me answer that one. It's not about black and white. It's about that white player. And
Hey, that's not bad, Rob, for him.
I know.
That's
There
not
you
bad
go.
for him. I said
Yeah,
he does some really good stuff in here and some really poor stuff in here, and I'll show you the parts of the poor stuff.
that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her.
I want to stop right there, Rob.
Mhm.
Before, when he was discussing this topic, he used to talk about trash talking.
Right.
At least he called it taunting here. That's an improvement.
Right.
I'm not saying he said trash talking every time and never said taunting, but generally, the times I heard in the past, he said, "Oh, trash talking. I'm okay with trash talking." Of course, what Angel Reese did was not trash talking; it was taunting and gloating.
Right. At least he finally came out to our side and said that's what she was doing, taunting and gloating. So
Right.
that's kind of like started it.
That's an improvement, but then he blows it again.
The way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route.
Okay, numerous opponents. Okay, she did it once for a split second, and it's not even clear whether she did it to her strength coach or whether she did it to Haley Van Lith. Haley Van Lith said she did it to her strength coach. Caitlin Clark said she did it to her strength coach. That's what you're saying.
Mark, did you hear the word he used? Numerous.
I know. That's what I said. It wasn't
Yeah,
numerous.
yeah.
It was one time for a split second. That's what I said.
That's what I'm saying.
One time for a split. And he said this in the past, at least on 2 other occasions where he said numerous. And you would think with this staff that they have that people would correct him afterwards behind the scenes and say, Caitlin Clark's only been accused of doing this once.
Well,
You would
it's not
think, Rob,
numerous.
after 2 years later, whatever it is, that he's been, corrected on this factual thing that's wrong.
The word numerous, right, Mark, means more than one. Correct.
Last I checked, it does.
Yes,
Rob.
yeah, last I checked. So I don't think he's definitely wrong on that point.
I know that's what I didn't like about this part, but
Yeah.
I like the fact that he said it was. He basically implied what we were saying about Angel Reese not liking the fact that Caitlin Clark's white.
Right.
To the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living, you know what, at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did. It would have never gotten to this point. But I have never deemed that to be a bad thing. I love that kind of.
Well, now he's wrong again. That is a bad.
Yeah, no, he's
thing.
wrong. That is a
Very
bad thing. It's a totally bad thing. It's a bad thing. It's bad sportsmanship. That's not sportsmanship. It's not basketball. If someone, like I said, if any of those three, well, he kind of played basketball, but those 2 women played basketball. If that after a game, someone that came up to their face and did what Angel Reese did, I know one of those 2 would have jacked her. Would have been like me. Would have jacked her up. I'm pretty sure. I'm very sure.
When you average 1.5 points per game, you didn't play basketball.
Yeah.
That was in one game. He did it. Somehow he played one game and he averaged 1.5 points.
But even if that, not that, you're a human being. This person's coming up in your face after you lost. You think you're just gonna sit there like, oh, Caitlin Clark took the high road. Like I said, she's always taking the high road and everything, which she's very good at. I would not have. No.
Well, me neither. But okay, let's go on.
Of confrontation. I love that kind of heat. But there are white folks in America that had a problem with Angel Reese coming at the chosen one, Caitlin Clark, that way.
That's not why we were upset. It wasn't because she was the chosen one. It was how she did it, what she did it, the length that she did it, and why she did it, and the game was over. It wasn't trash talking, and that she broke somebody's.
And why is he generalizing to white folks? I was upset about that.
I know.
Most people who watch basketball, didn't matter what color they were, thought that was classless.
You should have said Caitlin Clark fans.
Yeah.
Which
not even Caitlin Clark fans. I'm talking basketball. If you watch basketball, you don't have to be a Caitlin Clark fan.
That's true.
Just walk up to somebody. Doesn't matter what fan you are. You're a fan of the game. That's crap.
I have this friend, Rob, who I would call overly woke, that other people would call woke. And when he saw the play that Angel Reese did, he surprised me a little bit. He said, she's trash. He thought it was, that's what he said. He knew the whole history, but I told him the whole history. I said, yeah, I saw the play. She's trash. It was very unsportsmanlike. Then it wasn't trash talking. So if someone way off that far to the left saying this is trash,
wow,
he's not even white. He's Middle Eastern too. So anyways.
And because of that, they acted with the level of vitriol. How do we know that? Because Angel Reese came back to college the following year. And one of the things that reduced her to tears was the vitriol that she was receiving from around the country because people were hating on her because of her elevated popularity.
No, they weren't hating on her because of her elevated popularity. They were hating on her because of what she did at the end of the game.
Right.
So much of this is wrong. It's just factually wrong and lies.
And poor Angel, yes, poor Angel who says, "Bring it on." I don't mind playing the bad guy. I believe she said that. I don't mind playing the bad guy. Then all of a sudden, when the heat comes on her, oh, poor me. Oh, they're all picking on me. Which, some of the stuff is true. I don't like the racial stuff and the undertones like that. That's wrong.
We're not supporting that at all, Rob.
No.
All the other stuff, supposedly there were some like false pictures of her naked with her head on it. All that stuff and death threats and racial, all that is wrong. But in terms of her getting criticized for this, that kind of heat, she deserved every moment of it.
Yes, she did.
So let's go on. Rob, look at how many times I've had to stop the video here because they either lie or factually incorrect.
Yeah.
And the fact that she had gone at Caitlin Clark that way. So now we come to the WNBA. No fault of Caitlin's at all. But in the end, because of her greatness and because people were resistant to accepting her greatness.
Now that's good for him, Rob.
Yep, that's another good take by him. He is true. Resisting I like that. I like what he said. Resisting her greatness. That's what the WNBA seemed to be.
You don't think none of those two women are over say that, Rob? The five black women who comment on women's basketball on that channel, Rob, would never say that. None of them would ever say what he just said.
No.
They pretended it didn't exist.
They wouldn't call her the greatest.
Let him know that he doesn't buy it.
They wouldn't call her the greatest ball player. They wouldn't call her the greatest.
Well, they might now, but okay. Let's see.
No, I don't think they would still. No.
Let's see.
The way in which I have articulated on many occasions, you have people using that as an excuse to throw vitriol at other people. But in the end, here's what I say. That's contributed rather to Angel Reese becoming a household name, according to along with the fact she's a rebounding demon. The girl she grabs and rebounds, she can play, but that's elevated her level of popularity. And what I would say to all of y'all is this: as a person that's covered the NBA and grew up watching the NBA, no matter how great Michael Jordan was, obviously, it started with Bird versus Magic. Yeah, you could talk about Showtime versus Boston, but that white superstar losing in that national championship game to that dude called Magic at Michigan State when he was at Indiana State, and then ultimately coming into the NBA, and they constantly met in the finals about 3 times, and they owned
exactly 3 times, just so you know. The Lakers won twice and the Celtics won once, but okay. So Magic was 3-1 against Bird in championship. Okay. Right. Anyways, in championship meetings, anyways. All right.
Owned most of the 80s in terms of the two teams respectively. The bottom line is it contributed to elevating the popularity. Yeah. So Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, embrace this. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because all y'all do is competing.
That's true, Rob. Their rivalry does increase the popularity of the WNBA. I can't take any more of this, but anyways.
Yeah, that's it.
But that the lies and the factual things that are incorrect are just unbelievable. The two women would not answer the question. And if I was cross-examining them, I would have been just like Stephen A. Smith. I would have made it more concise. I would have said, You didn't answer my question. That's not my question. And I would repeat the question. In fact, I wouldn't have asked it that way. I would have said, do you think they dislike each other? That's the way I would have asked the question.
Mm.
I wouldn't even say, do you think they like or hate each other? I would have worded it differently. But they were lying, Rob, the whole way through. And they also know that Stephen A. Smith was right about a couple of things that they refused to say.
Yep.
About Caitlin Clark. And
being the greatest.
Said
being
that.
the greatest.
Right. They refused to accept her greatness.
Mm.
And it's still going on now, Rob. So we'll see. We just saw it with the GM polls, Rob. Because they consider themselves part of the old school.
They would have said, "Oh, I don't know about that, Stephen. AJ Wilson and Nathaniel Collier." They would have, and Angel Reese. They would have put all these other players in there. As far as I'm surprised they didn't say that when he said that.
No, the two parts of that poll that were just so stupid were, well, I guess there's more than that, but the two that really bothered people was the fact that they said Chelsea Gray was a better passer. It was like a 3-1 vote than Caitlin Clark, which is the biggest joke in the world. And that they were tied in terms of the most number of votes for best point guard. And also, Rob, about game plan, like who do you have to do your game plan against? It should have been 100% votes for Caitlin Clark. So all of that, they're still not accepting Caitlin Clark's greatness.
No.
There's no way. All three of those answers should have been 100% Caitlin Clark, except for the one vote that you can't vote for your own player. That's it. Should have been 12-1 or 11-1. If the Aces
Mark, they respect her, though, Mark. They respect her.
Yeah, right. The GMs don't even respect her. At least half of them, or a quarter of them. So, anyways, I thought that was unbelievable what took place in that lies there. So I figured I'd share that with you. Let us know what you think down below. How badly were they lying? How factually inaccurate were they in their presentation in that first take, which is why I don't watch the show. Let us know if you like this video. Feel free to share with your family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? It's free. Hit that notification bell when you do and make Rob happy so you get notified of our next video. And join us for the live show tomorrow, 5:30 to 7. And then join us for the game at 7:30 against the Dream. It's a rematch. They need a win now, Rob. And also first crossover on Monday, 6 to 7, except for major holidays like Memorial Day and Labor Day. I want to say thank you for your support and welcome to all the new subscribers that started since the season started. And if you want, you can donate to this channel with super chats and super thanks down below and a link to PayPal. We'll see you in the next video.
Respect.